Good morning, boys, girls, and enemies everywhere. It is your host with the most. It is Omer Q here. Welcome back to the most interactive wrestling show on the interweb. Welcome back to Wrestling with Omer. It is June 29th, 2025. Got a whole bunch to talk about. Saudi Blood Money Mania 2025 is in the books, and we're going to talk about what happened. I have read about what happened. I have not seen the show, so can't really tell you about my thoughts on the matches, but I can talk about the results and where we're going for SummerSlam. One thing I am going to talk about, though, is CM Punk's apology and why it kind of grinded my freaking gears as a CM Punk fan, but also as a human being. We're going to talk about all that much more right here. As you guys know, it's a fan-run show. You have a question, you have a comment, you have a concern, leave it in the chat. Guys, also be sure to smash that thumbs up if you haven't already. We got James in the chat. What's up, James? Hey, what's up, man? Happy we got Hikaleo. I'm so excited for All-In. I am also very excited for All-In. Just about, we're less than 2 weeks away from AEW All-In, a show I will be attending. That's going to be fun. That's going to be great. That's going to be emotional. Fantastic. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to a lot of stuff. Be sure to smash that thumbs up, guys. But All-In's going to be a fun time. All-In's going to be a fun time. Going to be rolling up there with Kenny Baum. Me and Mr. Kenneth Bomington going to Texas. I've never been to Texas before, so I'm pretty hyped about it. I've never been to Dallas before, so I'm pretty hyped about it. I've never been to a Buc-ee's, so I don't know. Like I've heard so much about Buc-ee's. I've heard so much about like how it's basically like a super Wawa of like the South or whatever. So I'm really hyped. Can't wait to go to Buc-ee's. Can't wait to get some authentic barbecue. Well, not at Buc-ee's, but like somewhere else. But anyway. Really looking forward to that Texas trip. Shout out to Kenny Baum, who's going to be joining me. The GOAT, Tongaloa, is back. Tongaloa, yes, someone's GOAT, I guess. Basic Punkonomics was cool, bro. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not going to poo-poo it. I didn't watch the segment. I only saw pictures, so I have no room to really poo-poo it. But the Basic Punkonomics is... Look, as someone who enjoys a bad pun, I can honestly say, could have done better. Could have done better. Word life. It's the Basic Punkonomics. Like, come on, bro. All right. Let's get into, we're talking about CM Punk already. People will join. People will talk. Be sure to smash that thumbs up. Actually, I should just realize I didn't share this on social media. Oopsies. People will come in. I don't care. Anyway, guys. Let's talk about this story that everyone was discussing over the weekend. CM Punk apologized to the people of Saudi Arabia for comments he made a couple of years ago regarding the Miz and blood money covered penises. So, for those of you who don't know, quick recap of the situation. CM Punk back in 2020, around the time he was doing WWE Backstage, had said something to the effect of, or in response to the Miz, go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you loser, you goof, something like that. It was the ending, but he definitely said go suck a blood money covered dick. And ever since then, it has been the expectation that when Punk would come back to WWE, Saudi would be a big issue for him. Now, we have come to learn that wasn't as big an issue as we once believed. And, again, there's a lot of wrestlers that I personally respect who go to Saudi Arabia. But when you go 10 toes down publicly on something and then, basically go back on it, it is going to cause people to look at your actions as disingenuous and look at the virtue signaling as disingenuous. Especially when a week before the show, you go to a No Kings protest. All right? That's just saying. Now, that opens you up, if you're CM Punk, to a whole lot of criticism. And it's one thing, right, to be like, all right, I'm going to go get my bag. Everyone else is doing it. It's a lot easier in this environment for me to rationalize that I'm going to go to Saudi Arabia and do this show. But it's another to make an entire storyline and a spectacle about it. And one thing that I've criticized WWE for over the past year has been there have been so many moments that have taken away from what I'm watching on screen and you know, like turned me away as a fan. And I think this is a clear-cut example of what I'm talking about. It is when Roman is going out there and being like, yeah, you know, I'm going to talk about politics, or we're doing shit like the Hinchcliffe shit, or we're doing like, you know, the Saudi apology tours. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? Anyway, but somehow, some way, we found ourselves on, I believe, Friday at the pep rally for the Saudi show. We found ourselves in a situation where CM Punk was apologizing for the tweet. Here is that clip.
Abby, and I wrote a mean tweet. Legitimately had nothing to do with the tweet I wrote 6 years ago. Hey, listen. Legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I woke up and I was crabby, and I wrote a mean tweet to The Miz, and I apologized to The Miz. And sir, what's your name? Mohammed? Here.
So, CM Punk claiming that the tweet was not about Saudi Arabia, it was more so about The Miz. Part of me believes that. Part of me is like, all right, look, I totally believe that CM Punk woke up on the wrong side of the bed and was like, yeah, you know what? Fuck Miz. Totally. What I don't condone is the spin on this. Because, like, there's a difference, right? There's a difference between saying, like, a government is doing bad things or the people are. And it's very clear that CM Punk was talking about, like, the Saudi government. Like, that's where the blood money comment comes in. It is talking about the Mohammed bin Salman, who is, like, in my view, a monster. It's talking about the fact that they're out here killing journalists like Jamal Khashoggi. The fact that they're out here committing like probably a plausible genocide in Yemen. Like, that is what the blood money comment is about. And if you don't know those things, that's fine. But CM Punk acts like he knows a lot. Bro acts woke as shit, right? So again, I'm like, oh, so now we're spinning this into being, oh, Punk was talking about or he wasn't even talking about the government. He loves the government of Saudi Arabia because the Saudi government are the people, which is bullshit. Imagine saying the American government is like the people. That's wild as fuck. But we weren't done there because somehow, some way, Triple H had to find a way to get his bald ass in there and make it worse. Here's what Triple H had to say about CM Punk. I was privileged to watch him grow as a human being, to step out here and apologize to the people of Saudi, to just cherish where he is at life and his career and the things that he gets to do and the opportunity he has. And I was incredibly proud of him. I want to be abundantly clear. Triple H's big bald ass needs to shut the fuck up, all right? Honestly, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what you're fucking talking about. When we're talking about them carrying water for the Saudi regime, when we're talking about them carrying water for an oppressive regime, when we're talking about them carrying water for the Saudi royal family, this is what I'm fucking talking about. These are propaganda shows. This is why I don't watch this shit. This is why I choose not to engage with these topics unless I feel like there's situations here where there's room for critique. And that's exactly why this entire thing is so messed up. They found a way, and it's subtle, but they found a way to turn a legitimate critique of the government of Saudi Arabia and spin it into, well, CM Punk and his critique of Saudi Arabia was wrong because he was talking about the people. This conflation of government and people is so fucking dangerous, guys. Like, and I know it's a wrestling show. I know you guys are here to talk about graps. I know we're going to get into it. But Jesus Christ. Oh my God. This is why, again, this is why so many people are pissed off. Because this is such a transactional approach to a business deal that WWE has done. Like, it's like, all right, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and I hide the fact that you are continuing to bomb people in Yemen, and you led to a famine in that country, or whatever horrible shit Saudi Arabia is doing. Like, it's just, like, this goes beyond them doing just a show in Saudi Arabia for the sake of doing a show. This is clear-cut propaganda. There is no way of spinning it. There is no way of saving it. I am not asking the people, by the way, like, boycott the show or whatever. I'm not demanding that. I don't care. But I'm telling you why I choose not to engage with this shit. And that's exactly what it is. When you got this bald bastard Triple H who doesn't see color, who is out here talking about, I don't know what Vince McMahon did or didn't do. When he's, and now he's out here talking about, like, I'm just so proud of CM Punk for apologizing to the people of Saudi Arabia, because they're the ones who had the right to be offended, since their country and their government, I should say, is bombing people. Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. What nationality am I? I'm American, bro. I am American. USA, brother. USA. Anyway. I'm American, baby. All right. What else we got here, guys? CM Punk was indulging a fan request. It wasn't planned by WWE, but I agree criticism coming after whether he apologized or not. Yeah, I mean, well, no, it seemed more... No, I disagree. I think this was, like, clearly, like, pitched to him or it coordinated in some way, because Triple H's answers, and them making this a part of a storyline tells me that this was definitely more coordinated than I think people believe it was. If you agree Omer, if you were booking Cena's last year and a heel turn, how would you book it? This is an interesting question. If I was to book it, I would have seen John Cena turn on Cody Rhodes, not at Elimination Chamber, but in the main event of WrestleMania, build it up as a big face versus face match, give no allusion to a potential heel turn, and at the very end, swerve them. Don't give me Travis Scott. Don't give me The Rock. Don't give me any of that stuff. Just swerve them, right? And I think that there's also, like, room there to, like, plant the seeds for a potential Cody turn as well. But anyway, my point was always, like, if you're gonna do the Cena heel turn, you do it right. You turn him at WrestleMania on the biggest babyface in the company, Cody Rhodes. Have him beat Cody's ass down the Raw after Mania. Bloody pulp. This is not the same John Cena. This isn't happy-go-lucky John Cena. This is a brand new evil John Cena that has been awakened by the fact, and there at this point it is a fact, right? Cena understands at this point, or my Cena, I should say, my heel Cena. My heel Cena understands that he is not as fast as he used to be. He is not as strong as he used to be. He's not as good in the ring as he used to be. Henceforth, John Cena, before Elimination Chamber, was on like something like a 7-8 match singles losing streak. All right? So that is not something that happens to John Cena or has happened to John Cena throughout his career, but it is evidence. And for the storyline, you could put it forward as evidence, as you could have a heel John Cena motivated by doing the one thing that he knows he needs to do before his career is over. That is go out as a champion. And he is willing to do anything and everything in order to do that. This happy-go-lucky baby face heel, like crybaby, cry bully Cena, I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I don't like it. But I think there's an interesting story to be told there. Cody did say his babyface run is running out of time. He said that. Maybe. I don't think they're going to turn him for like at least another year. I don't see that happening. We all know at some point Cena will turn good and it will be the same old. Honestly, I would much prefer that than like this, like, I am going to cut boring promos, John Cena. Like, you know what, man? If you're going to cut like bland like promos in general, I would rather have you go out doing your shtick than and like, you know, having people like enjoy it one last time than you going out and like trying to do something that doesn't work, that people don't know, that people don't care about. Honestly, like, do the Mariano Rivera thing, man. Come out to Sandman, cut like throw out the first, like, just enjoy your last ride if that's the case. Enjoy your last ride if that's the case. You know? If I agree with Triple H, anything, it's if you're the same person you were 10 years ago, there's something wrong. I agree with that for sure. But I don't think that's the point he was making. I think he was like, oh, Saudi Arabia, brother. Look, we love this Saudi blood money. And look, it's part of building our global brand. Look. Look, kid. Ain't nobody give a shit about human rights, all right? What we do is bigger than lives. What we do is bigger than humans. What we do, WWE, we put smiles on faces. Especially when they're giving us money. But don't you think Cena's time is past? I don't know, man. Fucking Triple H, Jesus. Do you think Cena's time is past? I mean, yeah, but like, here's the thing. There's a lot of people whose time has passed and they've wrestled. Undertaker is one of them. But if Undertaker did a retirement tour, we'd all be marking out. Same thing with John Cena. Same thing with Sting. Same thing with like all the, like, there is a level of like finality to this that you can, if you're WWE, you should have been promoting more and focusing on more. If you were not going to go down this like BS babyface run with Cena. And I would have preferred that, but they didn't. And again, easy to answer yes on this, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, if anyone deserves a final run, it's John Cena. I just don't like what it's turned into. The fact that we never got Cena versus Punk face-to-face was diabolical. Yeah, I heard that, like, you guys tell me in the chat, because I, again, did not watch the show, but you guys tell me in the chat. I read online that it was like a big schmoz. You had, like, Rollins come out, Penta come out, and it was just like, it was basically like every other Cena match, overbooked, jumbled mess, referee bumps, and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, they literally are going to the Roman Reigns 2023, 2022 textbook way, way more than they should be. And, like, they've made it Cena's whole thing. Like, they're trying to mask the fact that, like, Cena is not as good a worker as he used to be, which is true. But, again, I think matters less if you just have him go out there and play the hits. If we were doing, like, a straight-up CM Punk versus John Cena match that's, like, you know, doing, like, you know, whatever, 3 stars in reality, or, like, adds, like, 2 stars to that already. All right? Like, if it's the last time. It did not seem, from what I read online, that was the case. But again, I'm not really going to talk about the match too much since I did not watch it. WWE is so predictable. Yeah. That's been a big problem too. WWE has been a very predictable company over the last couple of months. Are you doing predictions for All-In? Yes, I will be doing predictions from All-In. Me and Kenny Baum will be doing predictions from All-In. I'm even going to do an IRL stream on the day of All-In as we kind of walk into the stadium, so that's going to be fun. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. Fly out, or not next week. It's the week after. But, yeah, it's going to be great. Here we go. Worst case scenario for All-In, Jon Moxley retains the title. It would be like WrestleMania 39 because he retains Omer. I can see him holding the belt until next year at Wembley. If he holds the belt until next year at Wembley, I'm going to stop watching AEW until next year at Wembley. On God. Hangman Page should win. And I need him to win. I need Hangman Page to win. I'm going to believe that he will. I'm going to believe that Hangman will win. Because it would just be, it's such a great story, man. They are telling... Like, I'm honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Like, they are telling such a fantastic story with this Hangman stuff. Having Moxley win not only sucks the life out of the stadium, bro, you ain't gonna fill those seats. You ain't gonna fill those seats with the amount of goodwill you're gonna burn. Yeah. I'm just not with it, man. I'm just not with it. You can't, no more. Like, it's weird because, like, I think Mox, throughout this process, like ever since Double or Nothing, I think he's kind of realized how like dog shit this whole thing is. And you can see him Like even the promo he cut last week on Dynamite, I thought was good. Probably like the best promo he's cut in the past couple of months, because it feels like we're building to something. And that is like the excitement of pro wrestling. Like when you know that you're building to something big. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Page have gone toe-to-toe before. Moxley got the better of him first time. Hangman got the better of him the second time in that Texas Death Match at Revolution 2023. And now we get to see what happens here. You think we get Darby at All-In? I think we'll get him, Jay White back. Copeland might come back. I could see Copeland coming back to save Christian, because I think that's probably your end game. Like, that's something I would love to see. But I could see Copeland coming back to save Christian. I think for Darby, Jay White is injured, so I'm not sure if he's going to be ready by then. But for Darby, I think it's possible that he comes back and makes a run in. I think the way that it happens probably is going to be, I will say this. I think we're going to get like a WrestleMania 40 light kind of Avengers Assemble moment from the main event of All In. And I think it's going to be like, who's going to take out the Death Riders? It's going to be Team AEW. You're going to have Swerve come out, do like a little nod to Hangman finally putting away their beef. You're going to have, obviously, Ospreay come out. You're going to have, I think Kenny should come out too. I think Darby should come out. And, fuck it. Undertaker came out at WrestleMania. Give me Sting, baby. I want, and that's just selfish. That's just selfish. Because this is the last year Sting's doing like his face paint. So I'm like, man, get me Sting. I want to hear Seek and Destroy at All In. Let's go. But yeah, I think that's good. And it's going to be kind of like them all coalescing around Hangman Adam Page as the face of AEW. I think that's a great story. At least with a four-way coming up at AEW with Brody King, Anthony Bowens, AR Fox, and MJF, I could see Tony Khan pull a swerve and let Brody win. I think MJF's probably going to win because they seem to be going hard with that Mark Briscoe MJF stuff. That's not true because they've gained momentum during his reign. Hangman isn't the only one Mox needs to retain. Listen, man. I know you're objectively balancing on the ball. I know that. And look, I'm here with you. I'm here for you. I'm with it. Darby Allin can win that damn gauntlet. I don't give a fuck about that. Like, I'll be honest with you. I don't give a two shits about Darby winning the gauntlet. If Mox retains at All In and there's not like something like insane, like an injury that happens mid-match or something, conversations will need to be had. Nick Nemeth said Mox will retain. Well, Nick Nemeth is not someone you should be looking to about this kind of stuff. He's just trying to get clicks, baby. My boy's over there on TNA. He's just trying to get clicks. Former Impact Wrestling TNA Wrestling World Champion, Nick Nemeth. They need to establish more homegrown talent in the main event. Darby is the only one that makes sense in the story-wise. Mox is the main character. No. Hangman's the main character. Hangman's always been the main character. I mean, like, the only other person I could see in that spot is Ospreay. And I think they made a decision that the redemption of Hangman is the story they want to go. And in my view, I think that's played out fantastic. It's like one of the best stories, not just from AEW, but I think like anywhere in the past couple of years. Like, I've thoroughly enjoyed the way that they've slowly but surely brought him back from the pits of like evil and despair. The AEW does a show in Saudi Arabia. Would you call Tony Khan the same way? 100%. 100% Tony can get the smoke. Tony will get the smoke. On God. Like 100%. Here's the thing. I can like and enjoy an AEW show more than I like and enjoy a WWE show. But that doesn't mean that I'm standing for a company. I like styles of wrestling. I like different styles of wrestling than some people. It's just how I am. But trust me, Tony will get all the smoke if they do if there is I will say this, if there is an AEW show that is sponsored by Riyadh season in Saudi Arabia, he getting the smoke. He getting the smoke. All on God. You can guaranteed. And if you think he's not, you got another thing coming. Hell, the most over is Swerve. I mean, yeah, Swerve would have been another great choice. I wanted Swerve to win a dynasty, but we didn't get that. AEW's first 2 years was more Mox style. Mox is the youngest of the most established talent. Mox works both shows most weeks. Hangman does not. I don't think that's even indicative of anything. Like, Hangman is there. Hangman is there like every week. Again, I mean, I think like, again, my thing has always been like, what is the best story? What is the best matchup we can do? Right now, I think if you're not doing Ospreay versus Mox and you're saving that for next year, that seems to be what they're doing, then I think the redemption of Hangman is a story that you eventually need to tell, and this is how you get Hangman to an even bigger level, in my view. You position him as the savior of the company. Darby just was not it. Like, and this is, again, my own personal opinion. To me, I don't think AEW did the work to put Darby Allin in a position where I viewed him as the savior of this company. I never got that vibe. I never got that aura. I never got that sense. I never got that told in the story. At no point was that presented as the eventuality of this story. And at no point have they done anything to build towards it. At one point, that was the plan. We know that. Like, that was the plan. But that plan seems to have changed drastically. And I think in part it's because AEW realized, well, fuck. We didn't really do anything outside of that one interaction between them before Grand Slam to build this up. Yeah, Darby was always there. Darby was always, at ringside whenever there was a beatdown or whatever. But it was so sporadic and random, and it was in the middle of Mox doing all these other BS feuds that no one cared about, that it didn't feel like it was on track. And mind you, Darby was doing other feuds at the same time. And it's just different, man. It was just not good storytelling. At the end of the day, that's what it was. It was just not good storytelling, and it showed. And I think they understood that. That's why they pivoted. That's why we are probably getting Hangman as the champion at All-In, in my view. And I'm not saying like they can't do that. I think Darby will be the world champion one day, and I think it'll be a great moment. I just do not think that it is this story. I just don't think it is. Do you think that we get Jericho at All-In? I'm picking Hangman. Do we get Jericho? Probably. I think Jericho probably returns in the Casino Gauntlet. He's done with his Fozzy tour, so he's ready to go. Ospreay is easily most over. Swerve has Nana and the bells and whistles. Nah, Swerve is over. Let's not look. We can make an argument about Ospreay being more over, but let's not say Swerve isn't over. Hey, Swerve's got aura. Swerve's got everything. Swerve is over. Seth's whole faction, Sammy and Penta. What is this in reference to? Oh, you mean like the run-in at Night of Champions? So it was like, what do they call him now? JC Mateo, WWE branded, trademarked. I got JC Mateo, or not JC Mateo. He's what's it called? Solo, I guess, or is he Jacob? Bloodline, that's Bloodline. Bronson Reed is not Bloodline. Ugh. All right. Anyway, Bronson Reed though, Sammy and Penta. That's random. That seems random. I mean, I guess it's like the run-in on Raw this past week, right? I guess. I don't know. I didn't watch it. Any updates on Rebel? Keith Lee, Britt Baker, Jack Barry, Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus, I believe, is like he was doing conventions. He had a very according to some reports, like a life-threatening health issue. So I'm not sure where he stands there. I do know that he was in full mask and whatever and costume for a convention recently. So I was happy to see that and hear that, and I just hope he's doing well. Keith Lee, I believe that there was an injury concern at some point, and like that's why he was like very drastically pulled out of that show like almost a year and a half ago at World's End 2023, which I was at, and it was like a weird thing, but I assume it's also a health issue, but I don't know. I'm not sure about Rebel. I'm not sure about Jack Perry and where he is. I think he was like taking vacation, and then they probably forgot about him. Britt Baker is in Guantanamo Bay. Interpret that however you will. She seems to be in Guantanamo Bay, where I guess they just don't have a creative for her. So, interesting. Swerve's over, but I'm saying that Ospreay's more over. Yeah. Like I think that's a valid argument to make. I think right now, I think Swerve, though, is like... I think Ospreay is like about to peak, and Swerve is like falling into that, like, okay, like he's just always going to be over kind of thing. Brian Gewirtz is rumored to be the replacement of Triple H if he goes. My preference is Paul Heyman because I'm not sold on Shawn Michaels as a main roster. I'm not sold on as anyone on the main roster as long as the TKO mandates stay in place. My opinion is I think All Out, we get Copeland and Christian as a tag team champions. It will be sick. Yeah. I think that's... There's a reason why All Out is not happening in Chicago and it's happening in Toronto. I think they want to do the Cope and Christian reunion. That's going to be so sick. I'm going to that show too. It's going to be so sick. I also like... Okay, so like... I'm stupid, right, guys? Like, I'm going to say it. I'm stupid. So my original plan for this year was I was going to cut down on the amount of wrestling shows I go to. I went to like 9 in 2023. I went to like 9 in 2024. I was like, all right, we can't be doing all that. We can't be like doing that. That's too much travel for your boy, all right? Yet here I am. And so far this year, did I go to anything? I didn't go to anything in January. But I've gone to Elimination Chamber in Toronto. I went to Dynasty. I went to Dynamite after Dynasty because it was like a short ride away. And moving forward, I guess it has been a while since I've been to a wrestling show. But moving forward, I'm going to be going to All-In. I might hit up ROH, but that's no guarantee. But I'm going to be going to All-In Texas. I'm going to be going to Forbidden Door. I'm probably going to hit up Raw in Birmingham right after Forbidden Door in England. Then I'm going to go to All Out in Toronto. And whatever John Cena's final pay-per-view is in Boston in December, I'll probably end up going to that too. So that's like I'm going to like 7 pay-per-views this year, which is or 7 wrestling events, which we're down from the previous year, all right? I sent SummerSlam, I guess. Fuck. Oh, and TNA Slammiversary. Okay, we're at 9 again. Yes. God damn it. God. I would have Jack Perry mimicking Punk's botches included. Ricochet finally got his faction, and I really like it, and I think he's going to be gold soon. Yeah, I think Ricochet's great. Congratulations to Liana Black on your new AWF World Champion. AWF. Michael Cole says W. But yeah, shout out to the former Cora Jade. Any update on Warlord, Jamie Hayter, Camille? Camille, I assume, is also the same as Britt Baker, Guantanamo Bay. And Jamie Hayter, I believe, is injured. Just Brian with a $2 super chat. SummerSlam vibes. Boy, I know better than to believe you're going to a pay-per-view. Until I see you buy them tickets, I'm not going to believe that you're going, bro. Come on. The amount of times you've been ducking me like, yeah, man, we going to All-In. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have fun. It's just like, I don't know if I can do that, bro. And then like after we buy the tickets, hey, yo, so y'all going All-In? Nah, bro. Don't hit me with the SummerSlam. Until I see you buy tickets to that show, nah, I'm not gonna believe it. Shout out to Just Brian though, go-to person for video games. If you play 2K, you play UFC, you play any of that bullshit that I don't fuck with, go follow this man, Just Brian. I'm going. All right, chat. We got it. Confirmed. All right, confirmed. Just Brian is WWE. He's going to be at SummerSlam. And if you think he's not, you got another thing coming. Oh, no. Are you getting all serious, bro? You getting all serious. I'm shooting. It's a work, brother. It's a work. What's up, Wall Street Money? I'm just talking about how I'm going to Toronto for All Out. You going to that show? This going to be a fun one. Yo, that Cope and Christian thing is going to be great. On this day, I see clearly. Yo, in a 5-second pose, I got to make sure I get a hard camera seat so I can do the 5-second pose. Although I'm not getting no hard camera seat for that show, it seems like. Or no, it's Forbidden Door that's like selling out at an insane rate. Like I think Forbidden Door, they've sold like over like 12,000 tickets so far, and we're still like 2 months out. Toronto is also selling pretty good. I think they crossed like 8,000. So yeah. Actually, Brian, if you're going to Toronto, you let me know, bro. We got to figure that out soon too. There's a lot of stuff we got to figure out, guys. All right. What else we got? I'll have to see. Let me know, man. I'm going. I'm going to be there. All right. Well, this was a quick stream today. I appreciate all of y'all. I have to hop out. Got to shower. Got to go out. Meet some friends. Chill. Enjoy my Sunday before capitalism takes over tomorrow. Appreciate all of you. Probably going to have another video dropping later today about the John Cena Cody Rhodes rematch. By the way, what happened to the top 10 video? It's coming. Don't worry. It's like the dragons from Game of Thrones. They're coming. Don't worry about that. Got to figure that out too. I have days for Toronto. I have to book my flights in August for it. Yeah. Cool. Dope. My boy Just Brian. Confirmed, potentially. Rumor and innuendo might be going. We don't know. But if you think you know, you got another thing coming. And if you haven't hit that like button either, what are you doing? Become a channel member today. Until next time, keep it real.